How many dreams have you buried because of fear? Think about it for a moment. How many times have you stood on the edge of opportunity, your heart pounding, your mind alive with possibility, only to step back? Not because you weren't capable, not because you weren't ready, but because fear whispered in your ear, what if you fail? Fear is one of the greatest thieves of human potential. It does not storm into your life with noise and violence. No, it sneaks in quietly, planting doubt in your thoughts, hesitation in your actions, and hesitation in your destiny. Fear convinces you that staying safe is wiser than moving forward, and before you know it, months turn into years, and years turn into a lifetime of what-ifs. But here's the truth that so many people forget. Fear itself isn't the enemy. The real enemy is surrendering to it. Fear is simply a signal, a sign that you're standing in front of something meaningful, something that matters. Fear shows up when growth is near. Yet, most people interpret that feeling as a reason to stop, when in reality, it's the invitation to step forward. Let's be honest, fear feels heavy. It paralyzes, it makes your chest tight, your mind restless, and your voice silent. But you are not alone in this. Every single person you admire, every success story you look up to, every leader who has changed the world, they all started in the same place of trembling, uncertain, afraid. The difference is they refuse to let fear be the final decision maker. Self-doubt is fear's closest ally. It's the voice inside your mind that says you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. It digs up your past failures and throws them in your face. It magnifies every weakness and hides every strength. And if you listen to it long enough, you start believing the lies. You start treating possibilities like impossibilities. You start convincing yourself that a smaller life is safer. But deep down, you know that safety is an illusion. The cage of fear might feel protective, but it also keeps you trapped away from your dreams, trapped away from your purpose, trapped away from the person you were meant to become. Here's the truth. Fear is not a wall, it's a doorway. And when you dare to step through it, the life you've been imagining begins to unfold. The chains of hesitation can break, and the real you, the courageous you, can finally breathe. So let me ask you again, how many dreams have you buried because of fear? And more importantly, how many dreams are you willing to resurrect? Because right here, right now, you have a choice. You can listen to the critic in your head, or you can silence and rise above. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I promise you something valuable. You will walk away with tools, strategies, and powerful shifts in perspective that will help you break free from the chains of fear and self-doubt. You will discover how to stop hesitation from stealing your opportunities, and how to step into the freedom and confidence that have always been waiting for you. Fear may knock at your door, but it does not get to own your story. Not anymore. Fear loses its grip the moment you decide to face it head on. Think about it. How many times have you finally done something you were terrified of, only to look back and realize it wasn't as impossible as you imagined? That's the secret. Fear is loud before you act, but silent once you take the first step. Action starves fear. Hesitation feeds it. The chains of self-doubt grow tighter every time you listen to that inner critic. But confidence is not something you wait to feel. It is something you create through movement. Every small act of courage, every decision to lean forward instead of shrinking back, builds a foundation of strength inside you. And that strength compounds day after day, choice after choice, until one day you no longer recognize the timid version yourself you left behind. The human mind is wired to protect you from pain, but it often confuses growth with danger. That's why the first steps feel uncomfortable. That's why your inner voice tells you to stay in the comfort zone. But comfort zones don't create change, they only create repetition. Freedom begins where fear ends, and that ending happens when you refuse to let hesitation dictate your future. Courage doesn't mean you stop being afraid. Courage means you move forward despite the fear. And here's the truth. Your courage will not only change your life, it will also inspire others to change theirs. Because when one person dares to break free, it gives permission to countless others to do the same. So ask yourself today, will fear continue to be the author of your story, or will you take the pen back and write it yourself? The greatest prison in life is not made of walls or bars. It is built by the doubts we hold in our minds. Every time you think, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I might fail, you're building those walls higher. But here's the truth. Self-doubt is nothing more than a story you keep repeating to yourself. And stories can be rewritten. Think of the moments when you pushed past hesitation and took a chance. Maybe you spoke up when you felt nervous. Maybe you tried something new when you thought you weren't capable. What happened? The world didn't end. Instead, a door opened, a new version of you is revealed. That is proof that the limitations you believe in are weaker than they appear. Fear and doubt survive only when you stay still. The moment you move, they begin to crumble. The human brain is designed to adapt. When you repeatedly step into challenges, what once felt impossible becomes second nature. The mountain that once towered over you becomes just another path you've walked. But freedom doesn't arrive all at once. It comes in layers with each decision to act boldly. When you stop letting hesitation control your choices, you begin to taste a life that is bigger, wider, and more alive. And that life was waiting for you all along. It just needed you to claim it. Imagine the strength you would unlock if you stopped asking, what if I fail? And started asking, what if I succeed? Imagine the doors that would open if you treated fear not as a barrier, but as a signal that you're heading in the right direction. Your freedom is already within reach. All it requires is one decision to step forward. Even when your legs shake, when you realize that hesitation steals more dreams than failure ever could, something inside you begins to shift. Failure may sting, but hesitation silently kills possibility before it ever has a chance to breathe. Think about it. How many ideas, how many opportunities, how many chances to grow have slipped away simply because you paused too long? The truth is, hesitation is comfortable. It allows you to stay in the familiar, to avoid risk, to remain safe. But comfort is a silent trap. It convinces you that standing still is harmless, when in reality, it is draining the very potential that was planted inside you. Growth never comes from safety. Growth is born when you are willing to step outside of what you know and walk boldly into what you don't. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, has this in common: they acted while others hesitated. They chose courage over comfort. And in doing so, they unlocked doors that fear tried to keep closed. The same strength exists in you. The same courage waits for your command. Fear will always whisper reasons to wait, not now, not ready, not enough. But waiting for the perfect moment is waiting for something that does not exist. The perfect moment is the one you choose to act in. That single step you take today has the power to break the cycle of hesitation and open the path to freedom. You don't need to see the entire road ahead. You only need the courage to take the first step, and the road will reveal itself as you walk it. Momentum is built through action, and action destroys fear. The choice is yours to remain locked in the illusion of safety, or step forward into the life they're waiting for you. The chains of self-doubt are not made of steel, they are made of thoughts. And the most dangerous prison is not built with walls, but with beliefs we repeat to ourselves every day. When you keep telling yourself, I can't, your mind begins to accept it as truth. But here's the reality, self-doubt is not proof of your limits, it's proof of your potential. It shows up most loudly when you are standing close to something powerful, something meaningful, something that could change your life. Think about it. No one doubts themselves when they are doing something small, something that doesn't matter. Doubt rises when the stakes are high, when the dream is bigger than the comfort zone. That means your fear isn't a signal to stop, it's a sign you are moving in the right direction. So how do you break these chains? By refusing to let your mind bully your future. Replace I can't with I will try. Replace I'm not enough with I'm still growing. These small shifts change the way your brain processes challenges. Psychology proves that repeated affirmations reshape neural pathways. That means each time you speak courage into yourself, you are rewiring your mind for strength instead of fear. Self-doubt thrives in silence. When you isolate yourself, those negative voices grow louder. But the moment you step into action, the volume begins to fade. Action builds evidence, and evidence kills doubt. Every small step you take becomes proof you are stronger than you thought. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. You don't need the world's approval to move forward. You only need the courage to trust that what's inside you is greater than what stands against you. Freedom begins the moment you stop believing the lies of self-doubt and start living the truth of your potential. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Fear whispers that you should wait until you feel ready, but the truth is, you may never feel ready. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. Progress begins when you stop waiting for permission and start taking steps, even when your hands are trembling and your heart is racing. Think about this. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard began with someone who was scared but still moved forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent, not luck. It is the choice to act with courage. Fear is loud at the start, but courage grows louder with every step you take. Psychology teaches us something powerful. Exposure kills fear. The more you face what scares you, the weaker that fear becomes. It's like turning on the light in a dark room. The shadows disappear not because they were dangerous, but because they were never real to begin with. Fear is an illusion created by your mind to protect you, but if you always listen to it, you never give yourself the chance to grow. Action is the cure. Start small, but start today. Speak up when your voice shakes. Step forward when your legs feel heavy. Do the thing your doubt tells you to avoid. Each time you do, you are teaching your brain a new lesson. I can. And the more you practice courage, the more natural it becomes. Your destiny doesn't wait for fear to disappear. It waits for you to rise above it. And when you do, freedom replaces hesitation, strength replaces doubt, and possibility replaces limitation. Every time you break through fear, you build something far more powerful than confidence. You build trust in yourself. Confidence may rise and fall, but self-trust is unshakable. It tells you, even if I stumble, I know I can rise again. And that trust becomes the foundation for everything else you want in life. But here's the truth: self-trust is earned. You don't wake up one morning with it. You create it by keeping promises to yourself. When you say you'll act and then you follow through, your mind begins to believe you. With every consistent step, that inner voice of doubt loses its grip and a stronger voice emerges. The voice that says, I am capable, I am resilient, I am enough. I think of fear as a storm. At first it feels overwhelming, chaotic, and endless. But if you stand firm and endure it, the storm always passes. And when it does, the air is clearer and you're stronger than before. Your fears don't define you, your response to them does. And every time you choose courage, you write the story of who you are becoming. Psychologists call this process self-efficacy, the belief that your actions can shape your future. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are not powerless. Suddenly, obstacles that once seemed impossible begin to shrink, and you realize that the greatest prison was never the fear itself, it was the belief that you couldn't break free. Today, remind yourself, your future is not controlled by fear, but by choice. The chains of hesitation are broken the moment you decide to act. Your life is waiting for you to step forward. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Freedom is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of it. True freedom comes when fear is no longer the master of your choices, but the signal that you are moving toward growth. Every great dream, every meaningful change stands on the other side of fear. And those who rise above hesitation discover that life was never meant to be lived in the shadows. It was meant to be lived boldly, fully, and without apology. The world doesn't reward the person who hides behind what-ifs and doubts. It rewards the one who dares, the one who moves forward even when trembling. History is not written by those who waited until they felt ready. It's written by those who acted despite uncertainty. And the same is true for your story. Your greatest victories will not come when you feel safe, but when you step into the unknown and discover the strength you didn't know you had. So let today be the turning point. Let today be the day you stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I fly? Because you will never know the heights you can reach until you take that leap. And once you do, the chains of self-doubt that once held you back will shatter, and the life you were meant to live will unfold before you. Remember, this hesitation steals more dreams than failure ever could. Fear may visit, but it has no power to rule unless you hand it the keys. Choose freedom. Choose courage. Choose to step into your destiny, even if your voice shakes and your knees tremble. Because on the other side of fear, there is a life so much greater than the one you've been settling for. If this message stirred something inside you, don't let it fade. Hold on to that fire and carry it into your next choice, your next step, your next day. Because small decisions shape great destinies. Here on Motivation Vault, you'll find a place built to fuel your growth, strengthen your mindset, and remind you of the power you already carry within. So if you're ready to rise higher, hit that subscribe button and stay with us. Every video is another step forward, another key to unlock the best version of yourself. Your journey is not over, it's only beginning. And here, you'll never walk it alone. Stay strong, stay focused, and always keep moving forward.